We welcome you into Lakota West High School for this Week 2 GMC matchup between the Lakota West Firebirds and your Mason Comets. Today's broadcast proudly represented by Reach Cabinets and Remodeling, your hometown experts in turning visions into reality. Hi again, everybody. I'm Daniel Panetti, joined alongside Isaac Vargo for today's broadcast. Isaac, it's been a while since me and you have shared the headsets together. It's great to have you back. The Comets, a big chance to make a statement tonight in what is a rematch of last year's senior night.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams dropped the first game of the season, but also at the same time, those are both non-conference games. This is the first game in the GMC, so this is the one that really matters for both teams, and both teams really look a lot different this year. For the Mason Comets, the guy starring this team and mostly this offense is D'Angelo Birch, the Princeton transfer, the guy that won the GMC the last 2 years. He's going to be the guy that's going to construct this Mason offense. And for the defensive end, Lakota West, Cam Thomas is a 4-star linebacker going to Illinois. So there's a couple players to look at. It's going to be Lakota West who's going to get the ball first. Max Gogol will kick off as we get started here. And this is an interesting matchup because Lakota West played St. X to start the season. They only scored 7 points. They actually had 7 punts in that game. That's the last time they had 7 punts was in 2022, and they had 7 punts in that game against St. X. So it's been a long time since this Lakota West team has struggled the way they did on the offensive end. We're going to start off. Kenyon Norman is going to be back receiving, as well as Chris Bradley, both DBs on this team. Norman, actually a DB and a running back, has been the running back of the season so far. With big storyline, Braden Johnson, a 3-star running back from last year. Okay.
Lakota West, I'm Daniel Panetti, joined alongside Isaac Vargo for today's broadcast. Today's broadcast proudly represented to you by Reach Cabinets and Remodeling, your hometown experts in turning visions into realities. We apologize for a little bit of a late start. I'm Daniel Panetti, joined alongside Isaac Vargo. Isaac, is a chance tonight for the Comets to make a big statement.
Yeah, big statement. Lakota West has dominated the GMC the last 5 years. They've won it the last 4 years. The only year they didn't, they lost 1 game. We'll see how this Comet team can step up after the loss last week.
The Firebirds will start with the football. His first down is going to be a handoff to Kenyon Norman towards the right side. Able to gain a couple there on first. And Isaac, tell us a bit about this Lakota West offense.
Yeah, Lakota West offense doesn't have a lot of experience at the skill positions. Jackson Smith is going to be under center for this team. He's had about 3 years on varsity, but really hasn't been the #1 guy. Only 50 attempts, his highest in those 3 years. And then you got a running back in Kenyon Norman that we saw earlier in this drive.
Be second and short for the Firebirds. They line up in the shotgun. It's be another handoff to Norman. He's met quickly by a couple Comets in there. Alex Brown, the captain, in there on the tackle for the Comets.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the biggest part of this team all year long. It's going to have to be Alex Brown making every single tackle inside of the tackles. And for this Lakota West team, another thing to mention is last year they had a 3-star running back, Braden Johnson, and this year he decided he's going to play baseball and he's going to give up on football, and he did go D1. He's a Dayton commit for baseball, but a huge guy that Lakota West Firebirds are missing. We'll see if the Comets can get off the field here.
And that departure is going to give Norman a huge chance to shine this season. Takes a snap. It's going to be a jet sweep. Tyson Davis to the right side. The Comet defense is right there. And how about this Comet team making a stand? It's 4th down, forcing potentially a 3-and-out for this Lakota West offense.
Yeah, and Tyson Davis coming up a little wobbly after that last play. Looked like he might have gotten hung up, maybe twisted his ankle, but that is a ginormous stop. If you're this Comet team, you don't have a lot of confidence coming into last week and seeing this Lakota West team the last 5 years. The bigger stop you can get, the better.
Jake Kelling in on punt return for the Comets. John Hendricks was fired up there after that big stop. Punt is away and doesn't take a great bounce. Will be out around the 50. We'll get our first look tonight at this Comet offense led by the senior quarterback, D'Angelo Birch. Isaac, tell us a bit about this Comet quarterback.
I mean, D'Angelo Birch, if there's anybody in white that has taken down Lakota West in their career, it has been D'Angelo Birch. And, man, he can do it in both ways. If there's a playmaker, the biggest playmaker this Comet team has had in the past 4 years, it's going to be D'Angelo Birch. Last year, he was a captain on the Princeton team that he's won the GMC the last 2 years, and this year he's leading this Comet team, a team that he came his freshman year into and didn't get the opportunities he wanted to.
So first and down, ball spotted around the 50. This Comet offense only put up 7 last week. We'll see what they do on the first drive. Hubbard went in motion, handoff to Brandon Birdsong, breaks a couple tackles, gets into Lakota West territory. It's a gain, maybe a couple there on first down. But there we see the first carry from this Comet running back.
Yeah, and the Comets are going to look to run early in this game, but Lakota West front 7 is going to be the biggest that you'll see all year long. And the Comets, this might be the best field position you get in the first half. And right now they're already in Lakota West territory, so you have to come out with points here.
Comets only had 132 yards from scrimmage versus Springboro last week. First drop back for D'Angelo Birch. Looks to the right side. It's caught by Hubbard out towards around the 40-yard line. And there's a nice completion there for the Comets.
Yeah, you know, I got to talk with Birch a little bit today, and his number one thing, I said, who are you looking towards this week? And he said Chris Hubbard, mostly because he's got that size for this Comet team.
3rd down and 3 for this Comet offense. It's been a handoff to Brandon Birdsong and then a medium completion.
Look for Birch to use his legs here.
Alex Brown checks in at H-back for the Comets. We haven't seen D'Angelo Birch use his legs. He ran the ball 19 times last week. Birch is going to hand it off up the middle, and not much doing there on 3rd down.
Yeah, don't necessarily like the play call, but if you're going for that play call on 3rd and 3, you have to go for it on 4th down. That's kind of what this Comet play calling is looking at here. 4th down, I think you're overcomplicating it if you don't just do a quarterback power D'Angelo Birch right up the middle.
D'Angelo Birch, a 6'2", 214 frame, plenty enough to try and get at least a yard. 4th and 1 for the Comet offense. Birch lined up in the shotgun. He is going to take it himself, and he breaks through. D'Angelo Birch gets the first down. The Comets keep this drive alive. Isaac, there's a fire in this team so far right now that we didn't see last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team that they haven't given up on themselves, and they shouldn't, because it's only been one game, and they obviously didn't have the game they wanted to, but at the same time, it's the first game of the season. It's whole new guys. And what do you know? D'Angelo Birch running a QB power.
1st and 10 for the Comets. Ball spotted around the 32.
Another thing the Comets are going to have to do, they're going to have to bleed the clock on this Lakota West team.
Birch looking to throw, drops his eyes right. He's going to go one-on-one down the right side and incomplete, looking for Chris Hubbard in the end zone. One-on-one matchup. He was going up against number 11, Chris Bradley of the Lakota West Firebirds. A shot there that the Comets almost had. It was off the hands.
Yeah, what a ball there from D'Lo. And when you look at that matchup, that's a matchup the Comets are going to look at a lot, it seems like. Hubbard has got a 6'2", 6'3" frame, and then Bradley's only at 5'10", so a matchup you could see all day long in the outside. I love that shot early in this game.
I think the Comets, they need to go at number 4, Kamani Smith. He got beat for a 36-yard touchdown versus St. X on a go ball yesterday, so if you're able to get a deep ball threat like Hubbard on him, I think that's a matchup we could like to see. Birch is going to keep it himself, and he's taken down very quickly. Number 40, Elijah Hodge, the junior in there for Lakota West. That makes it 3rd down.
Yeah, you can go at pretty much anybody in this Lakota West team besides Cam Thomas. If you start running number 1, it's problems.
It's going to go out to Birdsong on the right side. Gets a bit of a block. Birdsong is going to get the first down. Isaac, this Comet offense, they're starting off hot so far.
And I love the play call so far. You go to a screen, and a lot of times last year, and last game even, when this Comet team tried going for screens, it kind of got blown up because of the lack of blocking. But it seems like this team is committed into putting their nose in this Lakota West defense early. And again, you have to execute on these situations. Alex Brown does look like he's one of the guys in there to block.
So first down for the Comets. Be a handoff to Birdsong up the middle, and immediately Derek Edwards, number 0, meets him in the backfield, the senior who had 1.5 sacks versus the Comets last year. He had 3.5 tackles for loss. Had a career game versus the Comets last year. He's in there on the tackle.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. He's quick off the edge. He might gamble a little bit in the running game, but when he gets back there, it's trouble for this Comet team. And the Comets got to be careful. Birdsong has had a big load in this first quarter. They actually take him out on this play.
Birch, he's going to keep it himself. Now reverses field to the right side. D'Angelo Birch out towards the sideline. He's in. Touchdown, Comets.
Uh-oh. I mean, if there's a guy that can do it, if there's a guy that is willing to step up for the big game, it is D'Lo Birch. And what you love to see from this Comet team in the student section is loving it.
A Lakota West team that only gave up 14 points to one of the top teams in Ohio last year, or this year as well, in St. X. The Comets, it takes them one drive to get on the board. Max Gogol in for the extra point. One of the top kickers in the GMC. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is good. The Comets, a 7-0 lead here early.
Yeah, an interesting stat I'm going to throw at you, Daniel. Lakota West hasn't lost to Mason since 2018, mostly because of the departure since Cole Rain hasn't been at the top of the GMC. It's been Lakota West at the top. And in those games since 2018, Lakota West has outscored the Comets 151-27. And the Comets right here are up 7-0 early in the first quarter. And that just shows right there that any given Friday that any team can come on top, especially in the GMC, known to be one of the best conferences in the state.
And Isaac, you bring up that score differential, but just a couple years ago, we saw a super low-scoring, close battle between these two. It was a 10-7 game in 2023. The Comets, they had the lead going into the fourth quarter. The Firebirds then put on 10, kept the Comets scoreless. But this Comet team, outside of last year 41-0 loss, they've shown that there's times where they can fight with this Lakota West team, and right now they have the hot hand.
Yeah, another thing to mention with this Comet team, in the first game of the season, this Comet team averaged 8 points a game in the last 4 years. In the second game of the season, this Comet team averages 21 points per game, and they're 3-2 in that span.
West will take it out towards the 15. Able to break out towards the left side. He has some room all the way out to the 35 before he's finally taken out of bounds. The Lakota West offense will come back out once again. Isaac, last time it was a 3-and-out. Comet defense, a 180 from last week. Let's see if they can keep that going.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you have to do with a new quarterback. It's Jackson Smith, and you faced Sam Wiles last year, and he's a guy that is an absolute superstar. And when you face a new guy, you got to make him test himself. You got to make him beat you. And so far in this game, Lakota West doesn't seem super comfortable in having him early in the game throw the ball, and it's a lot in between the tackles.
Last week, Jackson Smith versus St. X went 8 for 11, 83 yards. 11 for 18, 83 yards, a touchdown and an interception. That touchdown coming to Tyson Davis on a screen. So they'll send a man in motion, very low snap. He gets it to Norman, the Comet defense. I mean, Isaac, we didn't see this at all last week. Yeah, and they are flying in the backfield.
I mean, it's the scouting report. I mean, I looked at film myself. I know the Comets hopefully looked at the film, and when you look at it, everything's just a run up the middle. And so far, this Comet end in the middle has won every matchup, and that's something you look at. When you look at the big players that need to win you games, it's Juan Bates and John Hendricks, and those two did not have a good week last week. They're starting off on the right track.
2nd and 14, 2 receivers out on both sides for Lakota West. It'll be a throw out towards the right side, and Darren Knotts
Yeah, Darren Knott's a kid that hasn't really got a chance. Big hit right there. That's a kid. He's a spark player on this outside. As you saw right there, he is fired up. Every single tackle he'll make, he'll let you know about it.
And Darren got a little bit of varsity time last year, had an interception versus Oak Hills last year. Only one tackle versus Springboro, but Darren makes a huge play to take him behind the line of scrimmage, and now it's 3rd and long for the Firebirds. This Firebirds offense getting punched in the mouth so far. They'll send a receiver out in motion. Smith looking to throw. He's going to fire it deep downfield, and it's caught at the Comet 45. Oh my goodness. Chris Bradley, number 11, a huge catch there. And there's a 180. Lakota West in Comet territory.
Yeah, just something you can't have. Darren Knotts was beat over the top on that last play. And Bradley does it on both ends, and there's a reason for that. He's a quick kid. Smaller frame, but he's a quick guy. And that's the confidence that Lakota West needs.
Jackson Smith, a beautiful football on that 3rd and long. A guy who hasn't had much varsity times, but still a plethora of D1 offers. He's going to keep it himself here on 1st down. John Hendricks able to be in there on that tackle as well. It's number 15 for the Comets. There's Dave Hutton, the junior, in there as well.
What a hit from John Hendricks. That'll rattle Jackson Smith a little bit. I mean, just walking next to John Hendricks in the halls, he is not a small guy.
No. One of the biggest guys on the team, can bench some of the heaviest weight you'll see for a high schooler. Only one tackle versus Springboro. He's been a lot more vocal so far today. 2nd down and 4, Lakota West in Mason territory. Norman in the backfield. A whistle before this play.
It's going to be a false start. And early in this game, you can see Lakota West is kind of folding under this pressure a little bit. They got tested against St. X, but they expected to get tested against St. X. The fact that they're down to this Comet team on their home field and they haven't got a win yet, you can see that there's a little pressure on this Lakota West team, and that's causing mistakes. The one thing you can't have with this Comet team, you cannot get beat over top like you did last time. You have to keep everything in front of you. Already just 3 minutes left in the quarter.
So 2nd down. Smith will look to the left side, has a receiver, cuts back upfield, and still on his feet. He'll get the 1st down. Number 5, Tyson Davis, who had a big game versus the Comets last year. He gets the 1st down for them, and they keep the drive alive.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Tyson Davis, he's the number 1 guy on this Lakota West team. He's a multi-sport athlete. He took Lakota West to the Final Four in basketball last year, and there's a reason. He's an athlete. He's a big kid, and the Comets are going to have to take him down.
He had 2 touchdowns versus the Comets last year, 1 on the ground on a jet sweep and 1 receiving. 1st down. Smith looking to throw, has time in the pocket, fires over the middle of the field, and wide open is Norman. Kenyon Norman takes it in, and that's a touchdown for Lakota West. They're an extra point from tying this one up.
Yeah, and all it takes is that one play. The Comets had him on 3rd down, back in their own territory, and you can't get beat over the top. That's gonna help Lakota West with their confidence, and that's a big play right there. Norman getting behind the linebackers, and the Comets aren't going to win this game with 7 points, and I think they knew that, and that's a good challenge to have Lakota West come right back at you.
Extra point is up and good. And some late flags come out. Lemons all over the field after that one. Looks like a Comet player was down. I think that was John Hendricks at the bottom.
Probably take it to a break.
And two minutes and 5 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's going to count for the extra point, but it's whether if they do get the penalty, Lakota West will have to do the kickoff a little farther away, giving the Comets some more cushion, better field position.
But Isaac, I think what we're seeing right now is that we're going to have a competitive game, and we might have a competitive offensive game, which I think is not what we would have expected. The Comet offense had struggled so much against Springboro last week. Again, like we said, only about 130 yards of offense, and they punched it right down Lakota West defense's throat, one of the top defenses in the state of Ohio, you could say, or at least in the Cincinnati area. But we'll see if this defense is able to regroup, see if they can respond to D'Angelo Birch and this Comet offense. We're going to learn a lot about this game on this drive.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a big drive. I mean, obviously, this Comet team isn't programmed to score every single drive. So if you can score in the early drives, that's a big momentum for this Comet team. But really, at the end of the day, it's what can you do to respond to what the team does in front of you. Lakota West answered the bell, and now have a little bit of a stoppage. As we talk about some teams around the GMC just from last week, and man, Daniel, when we look at Lakota East, this Lakota East team, they could win the GMC this year.
Absolutely, both Lakota teams this year looking to have solid years. And Isaac, I think as we look back to this Comet offense again, one guy we didn't see on that offensive drive was Jamian Martin, one of the biggest potential threats of this Comet offense. You talk a lot about the speed of him, and that's obviously that S-tier trait that we see from Jamian Martin. Haven't seen him going on that first drive, but the Comets were still able to punch it in. He's going to be a guy who is, very crucial in today's offensive performance.
Yeah, I mean, him and Torian Wiggins. Wiggins didn't get a single catch last week.
Davin Mesu, it bounces off of his foot as he goes to return. Now takes it, and that is not what you want if you're the Mason Comets. Great kickoff return on the Lakota side, and the Comets look to be inside their 10 to start this second drive.
I mean, it's interesting because obviously the Comets didn't think he could kick it that far, and when that happens, you're backpedaling and you don't want to muff it, so he ends up leaving it, and that's going to be some dangerous trouble for Birch. He's already inside the 10 at the 9 to start this drive.
And we're most likely going to be seeing some blitzes now from this Lakota West defense. D'Angelo Birch, he's experienced against this Lakota team. He's beaten Lakota West when he was with Princeton the 2 years that he was there. So a guy who has not lost to the Firebirds yet. He's not backed up against his own end zone. 1st and 10 for the Comets. Wiggins will come in motion, hands it off to Birdsong up the middle. He's able to get a little bit of a hole. Will gain about a few. There on 1st down, that sets up 2nd.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about Birch and Lakota West is D'Lo doesn't like Lakota West either, because Lakota West took him out of the playoffs a couple years back. And they beat him earlier in the season, and then Lakota West ended up getting the better of him at the end of D'Lo's sophomore season. So he's got a little extra as well in this game.
2nd down and 7, 2 receivers to the top of your screen, 1 at the bottom. Birch fires to the right side. It's caught. Birdsong out towards the right side. Plenty of room. Excuse me, that's Cannon McBarry, number 25, it appears. Big play there from the senior. McBarry hasn't had a lot of time.
Yeah, McBarry used to be a cornerback, and now he moved to a running back position, mostly because the frame was just a little too small to be the cornerback position, but he's got the speed, as you see there.
1st and 10. Birch going to take it himself out to the right side. Plenty of room, and Birch was one tackler away from taking that all the way. The run game for this quarterback and this run game in general has been working very well against this Lakota West defense. It's 1st and 10. Comets hurrying up to the ball very quickly. Birch looked to throw, now rolls out to the right side, and he's going to run out of bounds right around where it started. That makes it 2nd.
Yeah, and mostly the big plays is because D'Lo Birch has time to throw the ball, and also he has time to run when he wants to, and that's the big part of this Comet team last week. Most of the reason why they didn't play like they wanted to is because D'Lo's running for his life, and in this game so far, the Comets are doing a good job in the front.
We talked to Coach McCullough and talking about the defensive side, but it can go on both sides on Comet Sports Talk earlier that came out today. He said the biggest improvements for teams are from week 1 to week 2, and I think we're seeing that from the comments right now. 2nd and 10. Birch looks to the right side. It's intercepted. Lakota West takes it down the sideline, and there's a big turnover there from Lakota West. Chris Bradley, number 11 on the interception. He's been having a big day, and the Cards have flipped completely. Lakota West will take over in Mason territory.
Yeah, it's not a bad ball. It's just Birdsong kind of got pushed over a little too dominated on that right side. And D'Lo, again, he had the time to throw. It was a great play by Bradley. He's done it multiple times today where he's made great plays. But again, there, it's just the physicality. And we'll see if Lakota West takes a shot here.
And Chris Bradley has been everywhere for this Lakota West defense. Just had that interception, had that huge 3rd and long reception down the field to get them to around the 45. 1st and 10. He's looking deep. He's going to fire it right side. It's caught by Tyson Davis. Jukes out a couple Comet defenders, still on his feet, ran into an offensive lineman before finally being taken down. Brandon and number 55, Carter Brusaber, the center. Alex Silly was in there on the tackle for the Comets.
Looks like Killens was on that play. Silly's got multiple. He's actually as a backup quarterback. He does a lot of stuff for this Comet team. He had 5 tackles last game. He's also the long snapper.
Get a little confused with some of the high school rosters. You might have a couple guys wearing the same number, and that's the case there for the 7s for the Comets. Was Killens there on the tackle, so my apologies. It's going to do it for the end of the first quarter. As we're going to head to a break, a quick shout out to our sponsors again today, Reach Cabinets and Remodeling. You can contact Jerry and set up an appointment with him. We'll take it to the end of the first quarter. We'll send it to a break here on Mason Sports Radio. And we welcome you back into Lakota West here for the second quarter here on Mason Sports Radio. Lakota West, a 2nd down, big chance to strike here. Smith is going to keep it himself. Also evade a couple Comet tacklers, and he's finally taken down. Killens in there on the tackle once more, and the chains will move it to 1st down for the Firebirds.
Yeah, Smith gained a little more comfortable in this game. He had a lot more time. He's looking to throw. But Brown was also in there on the outside. He got all the way around the offensive line to get in on that tackle and on the end of the side. But the Comets really gotta limit the damage here, I think.
So 1st and 10, ball spotted around the 14. He'll hand it off. Norman has a hold to the right side, and he's taken down by the shoestring. The Comets just able to be able to take him down right there on that one. Alex Brown in there on the tackle.
Yeah, Alex Brown started to stumble him up, but the guy that really kept it from not being a touchdown, Jason Lewis on the outside, the DB. Big play there from him.
2nd and 1 for Lakota West. It'll be another handoff. Norman to the right side, and he is into the end zone.
Yeah, that's one of those I call, if I was playing flag football, it would have counted as the same touchdown. I mean, in the hole, there was no one in the way of Norman in that one. Good blocks there from Lakota West.
And after the Comets put up 7 after a 3-and-out, a nice offensive drive, it's 13 straight, about to be 14 for this Lakota West team. Kick is up. It is good. It is 14-0 for the Lakota West Firebirds.
Comets only down. It's all, you don't have to panic here for the Comets. You're only down 7, and you've showed that you can go down the field and score in ways like a run and in the pass. So I think you keep taking shots. You have nothing to lose if you're the Comets. You can take shots down the sideline.
So, correction, I believe I said 14-0. 14-7 lead for Lakota West. The Comet offense will come back off after this kickoff. And Isaac, one of the big reasons why that Comet drive did not work out, obviously the interception is the main culprit, but this kickoff, it was a disaster for the Comets. It bounced off of Davin Mesu. One of the returners is him alongside Jamie and Martin, which set up the Comets way back in the inside of their own 10. The Comets were able to move the ball pretty well, but ball security is going to be a major aspect if the Comets want to stay in this one.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get when you get back in that situation that they were in. The Comets tried to get everything back, and it just didn't go the way they wanted it.
10:59 left. So that one goes out the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. The Comet offense will come back out.
Yeah, this is a big drive for the Comets. You don't have to necessarily score, but you have to show that you can still move the ball, that it wasn't a first drive fluke for this team. And that mostly comes by Birch has to show his own creativity. Multiple times the Comets gave him the keys to run, but he's got to show in other ways as well.
First and 10 for the Comets. They go to the left side. Gets a couple there on first down.
Yeah, Birdsong got lit up by Cam Thomas. He's the guy the Comets got to make sure the ball is a little more secure when he's coming your way. And Birdsong did a great job there. But again, Birdsong has been the main guy for this Comet team all day long. He's gotten almost every rep.
Handed off once again up the middle. And there, Birdsong once more. Run game working out very well for this Comet offense so far. That moves the chains. It's first down. The Lakota West defense that's usually been so good against the run. One of the best in the GMC last year. Look, last year only gave up 84 yards a game on the ground.
Yeah, and that's the Comets. The way that they can run this ball right now with Birdsong is huge to see early in this game.
As a flag will come out.
It's going to be offsides on Lakota West, and it's going to make it easier for the Comets. Right there on the penalty was Lawson Robinson, 6'4", 206 down there. Jumped a little early, and the Comets are going to have a little bit of a quick start.
So I'll make it 1st and 5 for the Comets. 3 receivers out to Birch's right. Birdsong behind him. Handed off once again. And there's the run game. Once again, Brandon Birdsong having a solid day so far. It's another first down. The Comets keeping their way downfield.
Birdsong is running mad right now. He is running like he wants to keep this game going. He didn't have a great last week, especially pass blocking, and I think he knows he can do better on that side. But right now, running the ball, he's one of the quickest guys, even close to Jamie and Martin when it comes to speed.
He'll hand it off once more up the middle, and this time he only gains a couple there on first down as the Lakota West defense able to find their way. Colin Ogletree, number 6, one of the couple in there for Lakota West.
And Daniel, is there not a better time right now for that play action? The Comets have done it this run up the middle so many times, and you feel like Jamie and Martin on that outside, if he can get a post going, he's going to beat whoever cornerback he's on, and it looks like a good situation for this team.
And Isaac, the bad thing, it looks like the guy lined up on him is number 11, Chris Bradley, who's been having a stellar game so far for Lakota West. A lot of separation there at the bottom of your screen. 2nd down and 8. Birch going to keep it himself up the middle, and he dives forward. Will be close to the first down. He might be about a yard short.
Yeah, it's going to be about a yard short. Another good play call there. I mean, using your running attack to your advantage is what I love to see from this Comet running attack. And D'Angelo Birch is nothing but a runner on this Comet team. And right here, 3rd and 1, you got Alex Brown in the backfield. I would expect D'Lo to run this again.
Blitz showing. Birch will take it himself. Takes it up, gets a forward lean, and it looks like that gives him enough to get the first down at will. The chains will move. The Comets get the yard that they needed, and they are officially in Lakota West territory.
It's a guy down for this Comet team at about midfield.
And for the injury, we're going to take this to a break. And we welcome you back after the injury. The injured player for the Comets, Alex Brown, but was able to get off, run on his own power, which is a good sign for the Comet captain.
Yeah, it's a danger you're going to have when he does both sides, but a great job to get the Comets first down there. Same look here.
1st and 10, Birch in the shotgun. Drops back. Now he looks to throw. Pressure coming. He's going to fire it deep downfield, and was it intercepted again?
Martin has it.
Or did Martin?
He took it from Bradley. Is they going to call
it incomplete? It looked like it was intercepted at first.
Yeah.
Birch had overthrew a receiver by a large shot.
I believe it was intercepted, and Bradley had the ball exposed, and I believe Jamie and Martin took it from him, but he was out of bounds. So another shot. I mean, I love it as a Comet fan. I mean, you're facing one of the best teams in Ohio. They're obviously going to have one of the best secondaries, but you got guys that can run.
An update on Alex Brown. He checks back into the game for the Comets. 2nd down. Birch going to take it himself. Runs into a wall. He might gain 1 or 2 there. Number 50, Braylon McQueen, one of the guys in there. That makes it 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Can't panic. You gotta find a way to get close to the sticks because this is 4-down territory. But even if it's 4th and 4 or longer, I think you gotta punt this. So you gotta try and get it to sticks.
3rd down and 9 for the Comets in Lakota West territory. Birch looking to throw, flushed out to the right side. He's going to take it himself out to the 45 to 40, and he's close to a first down. I think Lakota West fans were looking for a hold, but it looks like no laundry on the field. That makes it 4th and about 2. Isaac, you were talking about punting. Does this change that philosophy?
No, you go for it 100% in this situation. 4th and 2. But I think you cannot have D'Lo run this ball. He just got lit up by 3 people, so I think it's Birdsong.
4th and 2, Lakota West starting to stack the box. The sand's getting loud. Birch is going to look to the sideline for the play call.
Yeah, the Comets are going to call a timeout. I think mostly to give Birch a second, just because he kind of got rolled up on by a couple of defenders, but at the same time, I think Lakota West knows 100% of the time this is either D'Lo running the ball up the middle or it's Birdsong running up the middle. So I think they're going to stack the box up. I'd like to see a creative play call here on 4th and 2, maybe a misdirection. Jamie and Martin, give it a try on 4th down. But this is a situation, if you're Coach Kastner against a team like Lakota West, when you're in the game and there's 5:30 left in the second quarter, you have to go here. As big turnout there from the Comet student section. You can see in the top right corner, it's jersey themed today, and the Comets struggle to fill everybody up in that box. There's some people that are kind of filled up towards the parents on that left side. So shout out to the crew in the black hole, mostly baseball guys. Done a great job of recruiting the 3,500 kids we got in the school to pack the house on Sunday, on Friday.
4th and 2. The Comets bring all their big guns in. Birch is going to take it up the middle, and he slides after getting the first down. Smart not to take the hits. The Comets get the first down, and the drive continues.
Talk about awareness from D'Lo Birch. He knows exactly where he is on the field. And to slide, we've seen it with multiple quarterbacks. I'll say, for example, Will Howard. When you slide, sometimes you don't know where you are on the field or how many times you got to get to the line of gain, and D'Lo did a perfect job right there to get the line of game and also not get hit after the play.
And a solid slide there from D'Lo Birch. Isaac, you're a baseball player. You familiar.
I played baseball with D'Lo. He's not a bad slider.
1st and 10, hands it off to Birdsong, gets a burst up the middle, stays on his feet after breaking some tackles.
Again, Brandon Birdsong. I mean, kid's a junior. He's shaken up a little, but I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, he's got about 10 rushes so far in this game, and he's running for his life out there. Credit to him. The Comets are nothing without him.
2nd down, 1 to go. It's been the best game of Brandon Birdsong's career so far. Been a big reason the Comets are on the board and threatening to get on the board once more. 2nd down and 1. Hubbard will come in motion. Birch will keep it himself. It looks like he will get the first down. Was close, didn't get it by a whole lot. But the chains will move. The Comets reset their downs.
Man, I absolutely love it. You are putting everything on the line with D'Lo Birch out there. You're putting the best player, and you're letting him take the ball on 75% of the carries, and I absolutely love it. At the same time, keep the kid healthy.
Be careful.
Because we got 8 games at least in the rest of this season.
Birch has been dealing with a shoulder injury as well. He's going to fire it to the right side. It's caught out towards the sideline. Chris Hubbard still on his feet, out to the 12. And there we finally see the junior Hubbard getting involved. Does a nice job there on the screen, and he gets the first down.
Yeah, long strides from Chris Hubbard. Thought he would break that on that right side, but just got tangled up. I mean, this is such a good sign to see if you're a Comet fan. This Comet team is moving in 3-dimensional ways right now. D'Lo can run it. Birdsong is doing a phenomenal job, and they can also throw it. Lakota West is going to call a timeout with just about 3 minutes left. One of the other big things in this game, if you're Coach Kastner, you got to limit Lakota West on offense, and the Comets have done a great job of that. You go down, you have to get points here. You're thinking if you get a field goal, you're only down 4, and you get the ball in the second half.
I mean, Isaac, this is the strongest this Comet offense has looked, I'd honestly say, in a couple of years.
Yeah.
You're facing one of the top defenses, not only in your conference, but in this area, and you're having the performance that you're showing right now. And, you know, Birch, he's gotten wins against Lakota West when he was at Princeton, but they didn't put up a whole lot. Last year, Princeton's win was a 14-6 victory versus Lakota West, and right now, the Comet offense, you know, they're looking like a top team in the GMC, you could say, offensively. The defense had a nice stop. They've given up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The Comets, you have a chance to tie it.
Obviously, it varies week to week. The Comets are playing a very good half, but we said it so many times with this team last year. You can have a really good first half, but you can't have any slip-ups in the second half, especially against Lakota West.
1st and 10 at the 13. A trips look to the left side.
Expect a screen here.
Lakota showing blitz. Birch going to keep it himself, and he's tackled down way behind the line of scrimmage. And it's a big play there from Lakota West. Gets him down behind the line. That makes it 2nd down.
I'm going to be honest. I think a trick play was on right there. When you look at it, it looked like it was Birdsong. He kind of waited on Birch to kind of hand him the ball. It looked like it could have been a lateral, but Birdsong did the right decision, kind of staying put, cueing to Birch that there was someone behind him, and if they move a lateral, it could be a fumble. But interesting look there. Could have been a flea flicker.
Birch looking to throw, and that pass tipped at the line of scrimmage. Number 44, Jordan Narvez for Lakota West. 2 plays in a row he's been in there. That makes it 3rd down for the Comets, as Lakota West making a stand here on their own side of the field.
Yeah, great play call. Great look. And Birch had the guy open. It's just a great play from the guys up in the middle. And you're in field goal range for Max Scoglie. He's got a big leg. I mean, he's done it for 3 years now for this Comet team. It's about a 35-yarder from where you are right now. But you'd like to get a couple more and in the middle of the field.
3rd and 17. Birch looking to throw. He's going to fire for the end zone, one-on-one with Martin, or with Hubbard, and it's intercepted. Intercepted. And who else? Chris Bradley. His 2nd of the day, and the big drive for the Comets ends in failure.
Yeah, I mean, I like the play call again. It's who's going to win the matchup, my guy or your guy? And Hubbard's got 3-4 inches on the kid, and Bradley's just the guy that wants it more, it looks like. He takes it on the inside, a phenomenal play, nothing really can do for Birch. You put it up there for him, but it's just Lakota West is a more physical team on the outside right now, and you can show. 2:16 remaining. If the Comets can still hold them to 0 points, you're only down a possession.
And Lakota West hoping to make this the last drive of the half. The Comet offense, it's been 3 drives of promise, only 1 capitalizing in gold. He's going to look left side, busted coverage, and it's caught down the middle of the field, the left side of the field, out to the Comet 40. And the field gets flipped in just 1 play. Camelo Jordan, the junior, number 14, gets the huge play for Lakota West. That's the 2nd time that quarterback Jackson Smith has connected on a go ball, and it's 1st down.
Yeah, 2 times there. The safety, Bikey, kind of looked towards the middle to the tight end, and it was a zone look. Darren Knott stayed at the bottom of the screen, and they had 2 guys going. Bikey wasn't on the left side, and there was a guy wide open.
2 minutes, 9 seconds to go here in the first half. Sends a man in motion, fires to the left side, and it's dropped by Tyson Davis.
Yeah, not something you see very often.
Wow.
But as a Comet fan, you'll take it 2nd down. Still plenty of time for this Lakota West team. They got 2 timeouts still and just about 2 minutes left. But I wouldn't be surprised. Jackson Smith, the guy that's been unleashing the ball at a very high rate so far in this first half, but I could see him running into a mistake with this Comet secondary. Bikey is a ball hawk in that secondary. Could see if he makes a play.
He had an interception last week, and Smith threw one of his own. Looks, fires quickly to the left side. It's caught that time by Davis. He gets past the 30. Looks like he'll be spotted right there.
Yeah, and just looking at it again, I'm looking at this secondary, and Bikey again left the left side of the field. Jaden Brogdon, the former Comet, had a wide open lane right up the left side, so keep a look at it.
1st and 10, ball at the 30. Comets looking to make a stand. Trips wide receiver, look to the right side. Smith down the middle of the field. It's caught by Davis inside the 10. That'll make it 1st and goal. And Lakota West offense starting to find their rhythm here late in the second.
Yeah, and it's exposing that middle of this Comet team. They're not going to play a man coverage against this Lakota West team that they have. Lakota West has a lot more speed than this Comet team, so they're trying to limit that speed by going into a zone. And Lakota West is cooking up some great plays in the middle of our linebackers and our safeties. The Comets got to make an adjustment, especially the secondary trying to make a play.
Kenyon Norman there in the backfield, likely to get this one. 1st and goal. It will be a handoff to Norman. Breaks out towards the left side. A.J. Kaler, number 32 for the Comets, being able to get there into the backfield. Kaler had a huge game last week versus Springboro. Had a sack and a tackle for loss. As we now dip below a minute left here in the first half, Isaac. And Lakota West is taking their time.
Yeah, they got plenty of time. They got the 2 timeouts, but you got to limit them to a field goal. If they get to a 2-possession game going into the second half, in a half that they didn't have a good half, you could say,
could be detrimental to this Comet team. 2nd and goal. Smith, he's going to fire it.
Could be a fumble.
Is that a backwards pass? It might be.
Ball's not dead.
The Comets fell on it. The Comets are saying they have it.
And they do. Lakota West is trying their defense on the field. A huge stand for this team.
How about that? The Comets get a turnover of their own, a backwards pass that was going to number 3, Kenyon Norman. And just miscues from the Lakota West offense. The Comets able to make a play out of it. And now they have the ball here with just a little under a minute.
And again, you could say for Lakota West, this has been the worst half of the season. The worst half in a long time that I've seen them play. Obviously, there's only been 2 games of the season, so it's easy to say it's the worst half of the season. But the Comets only being down 7, they have to be careful on offense here. They might just, they're going to knee it out here. Smart idea.
Looks like Juan Bates was the first one to make a play on the ball. So the Comets will take it to a knee to take off the rest of the first half. Isaac, outside of a couple turnovers, some of the best offensive work we've seen from the Comets in a defense that's making a bit of a stand.
Yeah, this team can't have any more mistakes against Lakota West. They obviously the Comets played a good first half, but it's got to be a lot better if they want to take down a team as good as Lakota West on Lakota West home field. We'll have to see.
So that'll be it for the first half. The Comets only down 7 here against Lakota West. We'd like to give another shout out to our sponsor, Reach Cabinets and Remodeling. From kitchens to custom cabinetry, they bring expert craftsmanship and hometown pride to every project. We'll be back for the second half. The Comets will get the ball to start the third quarter. Stay tuned here on Mason Sports Radio.
Dreaming of a kitchen or bathroom that truly reflects your style? Reach Cabinets and Remodeling is here for you. We are a one-call does-it-all company, serving the greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, and Dayton areas. Visit our website or call Jerry at 513-260-2595 and let him know you saw us on Mason Sports Radio broadcast. Reach Cabinets and Remodeling, making dream remodels a reality. Dreaming of a kitchen or bathroom that truly reflects your style? Reach Cabinets and Remodeling is here for you. We are a one-call does-it-all company, serving the greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, and Dayton areas. Visit our website or call Jerry at 513-260-2595 and let him know you saw us on Mason Sports Radio broadcast. Reach Cabinets and Remodeling, making dream remodels a reality.
OHSAA Media talking.
And we welcome you back into Lakota West High School for the beginning of the second half here on Mason Sports Radio. I'm Daniel Panetti, joined alongside Isaac Vargo for today's game. Isaac, we're coming off of, even though the scoreboard's not in their favor, I think one of the best halves of football we've seen from this Comet team.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a half that it's almost best case scenario. You come into the second half, you get the ball only down one possession, and you had 2 interceptions in the first half, and that mostly comes because the Lakota West had almost atrocious first half. They had a really bad first half. They had a turnover to end the first half in a play that they were at the 10-yard line. They could have got at least a field goal, but they've opened the door for this Comet team. It's going to be who wants it more in this game because the Comets have had some sloppy plays, but overall they've been the better football team than Lakota West so far. It's just been a couple plays. Lakota West is the reason they're on the scoreboard.
And Isaac, I'd say the biggest reason why that team is high on the scoreboard, number 11, Chris Bradley, having a incredible game so far for Lakota West. 2 interceptions, had a huge reception down the field to extend to their first scoring drive in the first quarter. I mean, he's been clicking everywhere for this Lakota West team on both sides of the ball. And if it wasn't for those 2 interceptions, Isaac, the Comets, this game's either tied or they potentially have the lead.
Yeah, and in one of those interceptions, they weren't really on the right side of the field, but on the other interception, the Comets were at the 20-yard line at Lakota West territory. So when you look at it, it's at about a 35-yard field goal, and the Comets would have took the lead at that point. It was before Lakota West took the lead 14-7.
And the Comets will get the ball here to start the second half, as D'Lo Birch had such an up-and-down first half. But the guy on offense for the Comets so far today, Isaac, Brandon Birdsong.
Yeah, he's had a phenomenal first half. Last game, you could say he was one of the reasons why D'Angelo Birch was in danger most of the game in the backfield. But today, he has done a phenomenal job running in between the tackles. And the Comets are going to need a lot of him. They're also going to need a lot of D'Lo to run the ball with his legs. I'd say both of those interceptions D'Lo had were not his fault. And it's just kind of the physicality on the outside that these Comet receivers haven't been able to step up. We'll see in this second half what the Comets cook up on offense.
A returner swap. It's Jake Kelling in for Davin Mesu, as that ball will go out to the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. Comets will get the ball around the 25. And after a half of being able to calm down your D'Lo Birch, being able to shake off some of the hits that you took in the first half, you come out a fresh sheet on your mind, and the whole goal, win the second half.
Yeah, I mean, if you're this Comet team, you're not settling for anything other than winning this game against Lakota West. You haven't had an opportunity like this against the Firebirds since 2022 when the Comets fell 10-7, and this is the best opportunity you're going to have in the first GMC game of the season.
From their own 20-yard line. Comets will start with the ball at the 20. Birch in the backfield. He'll hand it off to Brandon Birdsong as he goes towards the left side. Birdsong still on his feet, gets to around the 25. Looks like a piece of equipment might be there on the field.
Yeah, just an arm sleeve, it looks like. But overall, look at the block from Joey Oscar in the middle. He did not have a good first game. He's kind of he's the anchor of this Comet team on the offensive end. Being a new center this year, besides D'Lo, he's the only third-year starter that you're going to have on this whole Comet team.
And Oscar has dealt with some foot injuries, was kind of questionable last week, but was able to get in. Another handoff to Birdsong. He'll gain a little bit of positive yards there. The push tries to take him back. That'll make him, with forward progress, close to a first down. Looks like just a yard short.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lakota West knows exactly what's going to happen here. It's going to be D'Lo right up the middle, and there's nothing else that you have to write up besides that. But if you want to be creative, Lakota West is going to bring everybody. So if you can get a tight end loose like Tristan Newhouse up the middle and fake the run, that could be wide open.
It is Newhouse on the left side. It'll be a handoff to Birdsong. Bounces out towards the right side. He's going to get the first down, and a flag comes out.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold on the right side. Not even a necessary hold, and that's huge. The Comets, Birdsong had the speed on the outside, didn't need to hold, but it's going to end up going backwards for a third, and it's going to be about third and medium now.
So that's going to be a flag against Mason. Taking them back. Birdsong would have had the first down. Instead,
10-yard penalty.
It'll be a 10-yard penalty, bringing the Comets way back. To likely Isaac puts this ball in the air. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, you'd expect a throw in the air, but I'd like to see a screen pass. I think West is going to bring everybody on this third down, kind of make D'Angelo Birch a little uncomfortable. If you can get Birdsong in the backfield with a screen.
So just a 5-yard penalty, it appears. It'll be a handoff to Birdsong up the middle. Nothing doing there. Gains a couple. That'll make it 4th down, as we'll likely be seeing.
I think it's going to be a first down. It looks like it was.
Flag come out.
It was a flag. It's going to be a face mask, I think. It might go in the Comets' way. It is on Lakota West.
Wow. A late flag going against Lakota West, and a drive that looked to just stall for the Comets. That would have forced a 4th down. Lakota West gives them a free first. The Comets not at midfield, but reaching towards that point. That keeps this drive alive.
Again, sloppy football for Lakota West. The Comets kind of shot themselves in the foot earlier, but they get it right back here, and now they're nearing midfield. Haven't seen a lot of runs from Birch. They're kind of being a little more conservative with him.
Birch will keep it. Stumbles after running into his lineman. Gains what looks to be about 4 or 5 there.
He must have spoke too soon there. Birch with his first run. But I kind of like it's not just a straight run. It's a little misdirection. It's that read option. Because Birdsong's got 15 carries at this point, and that's who they think is gonna get the ball. And Ken McBarry, his first playing time, he's in the backfield.
Snap. McBarry will get it. The small running back gains maybe just a couple there. McBarry, a 5'6" frame, one of the shortest guys on the team, but has that speed that you're going to see with a guy at that frame. A guy who can kind of get lost in the offensive line.
Yeah.
If you're on defense and can just find a way, find a crack, find a hole. You know, that's a guy you don't think of, but a guy who could generate something big.
Yeah, it's a good point.
3rd down and 3. Sends a man in motion. Birch is going to keep it himself. Charging up the middle. He's not going to get the first. It looks like he might just be about a yard short. Isaac, you're keeping the offense on the field.
Yeah, you do 10 times out of 10. And I think you do the same play call. It looked like Lakota West was all over it as Juan Bates and John Hendricks check into the game.
Yeah.
I wonder who's going to get the ball here. Lakota West knows exactly what's going to happen, and I don't think that they're going to stop it.
The big guns are in for the Comets.
It's who wants it more in this situation. You got Alex Brown and Tristan Newhouse to the left and right of D'Lo.
Lakota West starts to pinch in their defense as well. Birch can hand it off up the middle, and it looks like they might have gotten it. Very close, and they did get it. It will be a first down for the Comets.
Gritty from the Comets. They needed all of the weight that they could take.
Got it just by maybe a foot right there on 4th down.
And that's the type of plays you need to make to win football games. Lakota West outpowers the Comets, and they're bigger in the secondary. But overall, the Comets are grittier right now, and it looks like they want it more right now. The Comets do.
The Comets do. They're putting together so many good drives. It's just, can you punch it into the end zone? 1st and 10. Comets in Lakota West territory. Birch will keep it himself. Has some time. He's going to fire deep down the field. And it gets away from Jamie and Martin. Oh, he had it. He had it.
Oh, devastating. What a throw from Birch. He had Jamie and Martin wide open. Jamie, and of course, beat him down deep. And he's one of the fastest kids in the state you'll find in track. And he beat him deep, just couldn't catch it. Would have been one of the biggest plays of the season.
What could have been such a huge gain for the Comets makes it second down. It'll be a handoff to the left side. Nothing going there, maybe one.
Yeah, McBarry back in the game, giving Birdsong a little bit of a break. But again, third down, you'd expect this is a situation where you got to run it again, pass it again. You got to take more of a shot. Every single person on this Comet team has gotten a chance. Who's going to be the guy to step up on 3rd and 9?
Third down, 9 to go. Birch dropping back, pressure coming, sets up the screen to Birdsong. Birdsong has some room, gets the first down in more, and Brandon Birdsong gets to the 31. It's a first down for the Comets. The screen works to perfection.
Oh, I love that a lot. I mean, my favorite play call of the day from this Comet team, and you couldn't write up any better. Everybody, they were bringing the house on 3rd and 9. A perfect screen pass.
Birch keeps it himself to the left side, dives forward past the 25, might have gotten to the 24.
This team wants it so bad. You can tell. I mean, when your quarterback is diving for more yards on first down, that's when you know the Comets want to do anything to win this game.
And Isaac, the difference between the offense this week versus last week is even more than night and day.
It's just a sense of urgency.
Second down and 5. 3 receivers out on the bottom of your screen. Birch is going to fire it to Chris Hubbard. Breaks the tackle. Hubbard is going to get the first down. The short yardage working huge for the Comets. It's a first down, and the Comets reaching into the red zone.
I mean, I don't mean to be the guy to stop play, but man, look at the sunset we got behind the field. I mean, you can't tell on the broadcast, but it is an absolute scenery here at Lakota Westfield.
Might have to talk to our cameraman Trevor Rhodes. Just get a little
scenery going.
First down. Birch going to take it himself. Has a C gap wide open. Able to get some into the 10. D'Angelo Birch using his feet and his arm on this drive.
It's going to be a 2nd and 1. The Comets are inside the 10, and Daniel, biggest part of this drive, there's 5 minutes left in the quarter. The Comets have taken over half of this quarter. It's a perfect drive, exactly what you'd think the Comets talked about in halftime.
You cannot turn the ball over here. 2nd and 1. Hands it off, Birdsong, left side. Touchdown, Comets. And they are an extra point away from tying this one up.
Yeah, the only thing is I saw it right away.
Oh, no.
The left tackle for the Comets held him, and that's the reason why it was a touchdown, if I'm going to be blunt with you. And that sucks for the Comets. The student section hates it. They're parting the sea for Dylan Heimbuck in the student section a little too early.
A hold from the Comets. It's hard to get a huge lane like that for a guy like Brandon Birdsong, and that will explain it.
And Coach Kastner doesn't look like it at all. The Comets, the O-line, they got a little bit up the shoulder pad, but I'm not sure he really held him. It looked like a hold all the way just because he got him up the shoulder pad, but I don't really think it was a hold.
As Lennon Aguilar, the left tackle, keeps it 2nd down, 12 to go for the Comets. The touchdown wiped off the board, a flag. The Comets saying that it's on Lakota West, and it is. Offsides, the Comets will gain some of that yardage back.
Again, the Comets are getting force feed yards twice. Lakota West has done this in this drive.
And Isaac, this drive shouldn't even be happening.
No, not at all. I mean, and again, we talked about it so many times. At the very least, you have to get a field goal. You cannot go without scoring.
Second down, 6 to go after the penalty. Hands it off, Birdsong. Breaks through, a couple more tacklers. Brandon Birdsong reaches over the pylon. No flags, touchdown Comets.
The kid wants it more than your favorite player, and man, is he going in between the tackles. He's the smallest kid on the field, and Brandon Birdsong takes it into the end zone. And man, there's a couple players down. The Comets have tied the game pending the extra point against Dakota West in game 1 in the GMC.
Are some injuries on the field. We're going to take this to a short break. The Comets an extra point away from tying this one up. Stay tuned as we come back here on Mason Sports Radio. And we welcome you back here to Lakota West High School. The Comets an extra point away from tying this one up thanks to a big touchdown from the junior running back 26, Brandon Birdsong. He gets it into the end zone. And the Comet offense showing so much life today.
Something to mention, and Lakota West goes offsides again.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And something to say, Lakota West, I mean, the Comets last week, they had a kick blocked. So you got to make sure that you're getting this. And the Comets, they're bringing out the offense on the field. They have it at the 1 yard line. And D'Angelo Birch, the student section, loves it. I mean, I will love it too. You're the Comets. You are heavy underdogs. And you have a chance at the 1 yard line with Brandon Birdsong, who's running with his face on fire. You got a chance to take the lead.
Isaac, this is either going to be an incredible decision or a poor decision, depending on what happens. You like the aggressiveness from Coach Kastner. You love what you've been seeing from this offense.
Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do. Coach Kastner might have got a little too excited. We'll see if they decide to do that. But Coach Bolden, longtime Lakota West head coach, hates what his defense is doing right now. And we'll see the Comets bring out the offense. Unbelievable.
Well, Isaac, we've seen the heavy bunch set a couple times, and it's worked.
You asked me, you get D'Lo Birch, put it right up the middle.
Lakota West is loud. The 2-point conversion. If the Comets convert, they take the lead. Birch up the middle, and he will not get it.
It's the risk you're willing to take. The Comets saw the spot. You had it at the 1 yard line. Coach Kastner liked what he saw, and I honestly don't hate the call. I don't hate it. You can tie the game right there. But at the same time, looking at this Lakota West offense, it hasn't been amazing.
No. Outside of big plays.
Yeah, even down 1, there's still 4.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. And the Comet defense has got a good job against this run game, which is what Lakota West is going to go to in this second half.
Absolutely, and we've seen the Comets, they've forced 3 and outs. They've forced third down and longs. It's just been a couple big plays to a couple wide receivers has been what's kept Lakota West in this game. And Isaac, this game far from over, but I think no matter how this game goes, this is an S+ type of game that you're seeing from the Mason Comets.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very competitive GMC game, and you're going to expect that from a lot of teams in the GMC this year. Almost every single team is going to compete for a GMC title, and this Comet team showing that they can play with the big guns in Lakota West. Something to mention in this game, Jaden Brogdon, the Comets. He used to play for the Comets his freshman year. He's now a senior at Lakota West. Actually caught passes from D'Angelo Birch as a wideout. He hasn't got a single pass all game, and he is one of the biggest guys on this Lakota West team. He's had a really good week 1. He had 50 yards on 5 catches and a touchdown. So we'll see if they target him at all. The Comets have done a great job so far.
Gogo will come in to kick it off. Sends it back. It will be brought out by the Firebirds. Taking it out towards the left side. Bradley cuts out towards the 30. Still on his feet. And a big tackle from behind as the Comets bring him down. Chris Bradley takes it out. The Comets, you have plenty of time, so you don't need to stop quickly. 4 minutes, 27 seconds left here in the third. But, man, with momentum pretty much on your side outside of the missed 2-point conversion, the wonders a 3-and-out or a turnover can do on this drive.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see the strategy of what Lakota West decides to do. I mean, all the pressure is on the boys in red right now.
It was a turnover on their last drive to end the second half. A backwards pass recovered by the Comets. It'll be a handoff. Norman breaking up the middle. Past the 40 out to around the 44. Will be close to a first down, maybe just about a yard short.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest run of the day for Lakota West. They kind of did a little counter up the middle, and Lakota West up front dominated that right there.
2nd and 2 is what they will mark it. Ball spotted at the 44. The run defense for the Comets has been solid tonight. They're a little bit of an outlier there on first down. 2 receivers out to the left side, 1 at the top. At the top of your screen, Comets playing some heavy press. Another handoff, and this time the Comets are in there. John Hendricks, Juan Bates. A couple to list them in. And look at the captain, Alex Brown, hyping up his team. Huge stop there on 2nd down.
Yeah, everybody there. And that's the biggest thing that we've seen from week 1 to week 2. Springboro could run anytime they wanted against this Comet team. And that opens up so many things when you're talking on offense. Lakota West has kind of been one-dimensional with the pass. So on a 3rd down here, they're going to have to throw 3 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. Big play.
Third down. Whistle beforehand. A flag comes out. We'll see who this one's on.
It's going to be on West again. It's going to make it a 3rd and 9. And again, Lakota West, everything is going wrong.
And West, even though it was a 41-0 win last year, 8 penalties for 74 yards is what they got listed with. A team that is so well coached. One of the best coaches in Ohio, Tom Bolden, a guy with a 193-35 overall record as a head coach with Cole Rain, Lakota West. You could definitely say that's pretty good. Having penalty issues. 3rd down and 9, 4 receivers, 3 at the top of your screen for the Firebirds. Another whistle beforehand.
And they've done it again.
Oh,
Lakota West just doing like everything that's going on. It just feels like
it's the pressure.
Yeah, the pressure is absolutely getting to them, and it feels like you think as Lakota West, they beat this Comet team 41-0 last year, and they're coming into this game. They just played St. X really well. They only lost by 7, and Mason got trampled by Springboro. And you come into this game, and this team is playing a little below their competition.
What a stand this could be. 3rd down and 14 for the Firebirds. 4 receivers out left, or 3 out right. He's going deep downfield. Incomplete. No flags. A big defensive stand for the Comets. It forces 4th down. And now in comes the punting unit.
The maturity from Jason Lewis on the defensive end. He could have had that pick, but also at the same time, Lakota West has a lot of game changers, and deciding to swat that down is a very, very good decision. We'll see the second punt of the game for multi-sport athlete Jake Kelling on the return.
Jake Kelling has not had many meaningful returns so far this year. That one booted away. Incredible punt. He will take it out. Has some room. Now cuts back upfield. Kelling out to around the 30. And this Comet offense, we look on the scoreboard, 2 minutes, 13 left here in the 3rd quarter. Any score here, Isaac, will get you in the lead.
Yeah, and going back to that punt, what a catch from Jake Kelling. Over the shoulder.
What a punt.
Very, very good punt. And that's twice now that the Comets have underestimated these special teams from Lakota West. But great punt, but if Kelly doesn't catch that over the shoulder, that's a touchdown for Lakota West. And if he leaves that, the Comets are probably inside the 10. So beautiful on both sides. See what Birch can do here.
1st and 10, ball spotted at the 30. A large shift going to the left side of the offensive line. And a jump from Lakota West. Oh my goodness, Isaac.
I've never seen anything like this from a team that has been so dominant in a conference so many times. You're just seeing mistakes that you'd see in the Grimes Bowl that we called a couple weeks ago.
It's Judah Blair, number 22. A player, a 4-star sophomore with plethoras of D1 offers. You don't see that a lot. Birch will keep it himself on the option, just takes it up the middle, getting a push from the offensive line, still going forward, the 1st down and more.
And you can tell again, I think mostly what's going on is people are jumping and people are going early because they want to be the game changer for Lakota West. They want to be the reason, when you look at the GMC app, they're the reason why they won. And they're playing a lot of not together football. They're not playing team football, and the Comets are, and that's the reason why you're seeing what you're seeing.
The chemistry has been falling apart for Lakota West. Handoff to Birdsong. He'll look to gain about maybe 4 there on 1st down. It's a nice gain there on 1st. It makes it 2nd. And Isaac, something so hard-driven into the Comet team in general is that chemistry, is that love for each other, and it comes in big in moments like this. 2nd down, another handoff to Birdsong. He's going to get the 1st down. Now fully into Lakota West territory. The Comets offense is moving again.
Yeah, you can see Birch wants to go quick, and the Comets have a guy down on the far side. But just going to this team, it almost makes you think, what would happen if we did take that extra point? It makes you look at what Coach Kastner does, but also at the same time,
you don't hate the call.
Yeah, you don't hate the call, because what if you do get it? Now you're halfway down the field, where we have 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter, and you're winning the game, so you have the tempo. So I like the call from Coach Kastner, but it's one of those calls, if you look back in the game and the Comets don't win this, fingers might be pointed.
And Isaac, something you have to mention about this Comet offense so far, the hurry-up tempo, but just the offense in general. The big addition over the offseason was obviously getting D'Lo Birch as your quarterback, but also the new offensive coordinator, Scott Totillo. Coming from Sycamore, was a head coach over there for such a long time, had the most wins in Sycamore history, is a 3-time coach of the year in 2005, 2007, and 2011. Being the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach is bringing so much to this Comet offense, and they're moving the ball in a way that, Isaac, I haven't seen the Comets move the ball this well against a team like this in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Totillo, you can give all the credit to him. He has made some phenomenal calls, and there's been some times in the past that we've called games, and there's been some questionable calls that could be the reason why this Mason team hasn't had the success that they they wished for. But Coach Chatilla, you can see he's using his strengths to his advantage, and he's got a all GMC quarterback on his side. We'll see what the Comets can do right here.
We would like to thank you for supporting the band program and the Marching Firebirds.
1st and 10, another flag. Looks like the Comets may have been the ones jumping that time. Looks like Alex Brown on the left side. That'll take him back.
Mason, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I think both teams can feel it, that both teams are waiting to finish this third quarter and get to the fourth quarter. I think the Comets are so excited that they're this close into the game that they're starting to get a little too jumpy. But they got to stay composed and under control.
A long penalty. 1st and 15. It'll be a handoff towards the left side. Not much going there on second, and it'll make it, or on first, excuse me. That'll make it 2nd and long. And all you want to do, just get into field goal range is all you can think of. I'd say, be very careful if you're putting this ball in the air, and if you are putting it in the air, do not think about throwing it number 11's way, as he's been having such a good game today. But you have a kicker in Max Gogol who has such a good range. You need points out of this drive.
Yeah, this will be the last play of the third quarter. It's just about 10 seconds. Looks like the Comets will take it to the fourth quarter. And, man, Daniel, that third quarter, Lakota West had 2 minutes and the Comets had 10 minutes of that third quarter. An unbelievable job.
It's always been the opposite. It feels like that'll do it here for the end of the third quarter. The Comets knocking on the door of what could be one of the biggest upsets over the last couple years for this Comet team. We'll head it to a break. I'd like to give another quick shout out to today's sponsor, Reach Cabinets and Remodeling. We'll send it to a break. Stay tuned for the fourth quarter here on Mason Sports Radio. And we welcome you back for the fourth quarter here in Lakota West High School. The Comets in Lakota West territory, but a 2nd and 14 left to go as they try to take the lead here. It'll be another handoff to Brandon Birdsong up the middle, gets past the 45, out towards the 43. Another nice gain there from the junior running back, but Isaac, that makes it 3rd down.
Joey Oscar hobbling a little bit back to the line. Interesting to see the Comets will keep him out there. Look at number 61 in the middle. He'll be the guy snapping the ball to Birch. See how he blocks up this next play. It's a big 3rd down. He's got to dig deep. 3rd and 9 is what they're going to mark it as.
Third down and 9 to go. It'll be another handoff to Birdsong. And it gets brought down right around the line of scrimmage. A 3rd down and 9, and you run the ball.
Yeah, I think the reasoning behind is Comets have got about 3 or 4 yards per carry and trying to get it to manageable 4th down. I think this is way too much for the Comets to go for it. It looks like they're going to bring on the punting unit. But I talked to D'Lo Birch before this game, and I told him last game how many times he had room to run on a fake punt. I'm not saying this is the situation to do it, but I'll tell you what, if they get it done, I wouldn't be surprised.
Davis back there to return.
Flag on the field.
A flag comes out.
It's going to be on the Comets. Now you really got to get a good punt going here, but D'Lo Birch.
It's not a terrible flag in that spot.
Yeah, a very, very underrated punter. D'Lo Birch, he just picked it up last year. Lakota West not ready on the play. Going to call it dead.
And D'Lo, he had to punt five times versus Springboro. Had a long of 58 yards, so has that leg and has that ability to have it spin closer and closer towards the end zone. But a guy with plenty of experience, and Isaac, like you were saying.
Flag's going to go back on Lakota West. They had like 4 guys offsides trying to snap the ball. A lot of guys on the line. We'll see.
Birch takes the snap. He will punt it away. Fair catch called. And it's a beautiful punt. Down at around the 6.
Oh, and a late flag. It's going to be on Lakota West. A push after the play on sportsmanlike on Alex Brown. And the reason why that's a big play is it's going to be, they're going to have the ball at the 1 yard line now, and a safety gives the Comets the lead.
Oh, my. What a spot for the Mason Comets, but what a
punt.
What a punt, but what a mental disaster for this Lakota team. And this is one of those games where if you're on Lakota, you can wait a little bit until Monday practice, because
it's going to be a rough
it's going to be a rough practice for this Lakota West team, a team that's always so disciplined. And the Comets had a safety last year.
So with the fair catch called, they're going to pick up the flag. But still, Jackson Smith is in his own end zone. Comets got to bring some pressure, you think?
Comets have had success with defenses against their own end zone, especially last year. First down, will hand it off to Norman. Norman able to break through a couple tacklers out to the 15. A nice gain there on first down. It'll make it second and short.
Yeah, and that almost eliminates the safety we were talking about, almost inside the 10 now, or outside the 10. Second and 1. Still plenty of time, 10 minutes left in the game. But Lakota West is going to be a lot on the ground, you would think.
Just now dipping below 10 minutes left in this one. Lakota West still with the lead. It'll be a jet sweep to Tyson Davis on the left side. He has some room, gets out to the sideline. Tyson Davis still on his feet to the 48. It's a first down and plenty. And the bad field positioning for Lakota West perishes as they now have it around midfield.
Yeah, what a play call there from Coach Bolden. They had a screen set up on the right side, brought all the Comets, and then Tyson Davis sneaked to the right side, and there was no one home from the Comets. Still, I mean, there's no such thing as a big play when they're only at the 50-yard line now.
First and 10 around midfield. He's going to look to throw. Busted coverage down the right side. It's caught. Tyson Davis finally taken down after getting to the 31. Tackled by Jason Lewis, number 13, the safety. And Lakota West starting to make a big drive.
Yeah, they've exposed that all day. The Comets are jumping a little bit towards that screen, trying to make the big play, and then Tyson Davis going over the top. He's their guy. And Comets, even if they do score a touchdown, you would think it's possible Lakota West goes for 2 to make it a 2-possession game, but if they do score, it would be 1 possession.
First and 10, Sandeman in motion. The handoff, Norman towards the left side. Norman, one man to beat. Breaks the tackle off Emerson Bikey, and he's out of bounds. He doesn't believe he was out, but they will mark him. A generous spotter. Looks like around the 12 is where they'll mark him out of bounds.
I don't know about that spot, but Comets will take it. The goal line defense has been good today for Mason. We haven't seen any of West's special teams besides the punter. It's just been punts today. So we'll see if the Comets can get a hold.
Ball security has to be such a huge thing in this moment for Lakota West. 1st and 10. He's going to keep it himself towards the right side. Smith out to around the 6-yard line. That'll make it 2nd down. And it's not a 2nd and goal, so there's still the opportunity for Lakota West to get a 1st down.
5-yard gain on the carry. 2nd down.
But how huge, if you're able to get a play behind the sticks or, something like that to force them to 3. You just want to keep them out of the end zone so badly. 2nd down and 5, 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. We'll hand it off. Norman tackled down immediately. Comet defense able to swarm there.
Yeah, good play there from Hendricks. 3rd and long. As you said, it's in West's favor that it's not a 3rd and goal. But at the same time, it almost eliminates that running situation. It's going to have to be a throw, and Jackson Smith's going to have to make the decision. He hasn't been in big games like this.
He made a mistake last week versus St. X. An interception late in the game. And if you're coach Tom Bolden, are you giving it to your running back, your 6'1", 200-pound Kenyon Norman, or are you putting it in the hands of an inexperienced varsity quarterback in Jackson Smith?
That's what Lakota West is going to talk about, and I think if I'm Coach Bolden, which I'm not because I don't have a 190-30 record, but if I was to make the decision, I would say a run is a good idea here, especially since it's a 3rd and 5. I think Lakota West isn't really interested in settling for 3 here, so I think if they can get a run and make it a 4th and 3, I think they would go for it in this situation, because 3, while it gets you a situation where the Comets have to score a touchdown, it doesn't eliminate the fact that Mason can take the lead late on you.
Yeah, I think the big thing with putting this ball in the air, we've seen drives, especially today, but just in football in general, where you don't have a reason to throw it, you throw it, and it doesn't end your way. But what will Lakota West do? A touchdown and a 2-point conversion makes it a 2-possession lead. A touchdown and extra point keeps it 1. A field goal is paradise for the Comet defense.
Oh, and a false start is ginormous.
My. And maybe the 16th "you can't do that" chant from the black hole, Lakota West has still not learned.
And that's changing Coach Bolden completely what he was talking about, you would think. A 3rd and 10, a lot different than a 3rd and 5.
3rd down and 10. This ball has to go in the air. You think he will. Over the middle, and it's caught. Tyson Davis, touchdown.
Yeah, just the blown coverage. Jason Lewis had the responsibility, and Tyson Davis just cooked him off the line. And we'll see if they go for 2 and make it a 2-possession game. It looks like the field goal unit's going to go out there.
Well, that's big for the Comets. And I do think that is the right play call. You're forcing the Comets, who already missed a 2-point conversion today, to put the game in their hands, or put the game in Lakota West's hands. Extra point is up, and it is good. It is a 8-point lead for Lakota West, their largest of the day. And now it's only week 2, Isaac, but the biggest drive of the Comet season.
Yeah, I mean, this is ginormous. And if there's any guy that I trust to get a big drive, and even if they don't score here, there's 7 minutes left in this game. So you'd be playing with fire if you don't go down and score a touchdown. But if you don't, it's still it's still a game. But, I mean, D'Lo Birch, the guy I want with the football, he hasn't had the best day throwing the ball. But a guy we haven't seen all season, a captain, Torian Wiggins, we're waiting to see. He had an explosion last year against Sycamore. We're just waiting for that moment, and could this be the moment?
And another thing to mention is Lakota West has to be kicking themselves the way that they've been playing. The Comets have to be playing with such a fire lit in their spirit, knowing you have a chance to take down one of the most highly decorated programs over the last 5-6 years in Ohio and Lakota West. A team that their head coach had just won the Paul Brown Coaching Award for his outstanding job with the team, and you're taking them down to one possession. The kickoff goes to the back of the end zone. It's a touchback. D'Lo Birch in this Comet offense will come back out.
And you don't think D'Lo's been here before. I mean, he's a 3-year varsity starter. He's won the GMC twice. He's made it to multiple regionals in his career. So you would think this moment is not too big for him. And there's definitely multiple guys on this Lakota West defense. We look at it, there is 17 guys on this Lakota West defense that are gone and are seniors this year. So that's definitely something to look at. Not a lot of experience out there for the guys in red.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. 3 receivers out to the right side. Birch looking to throw, fire at right side, caught, and immediately goes backwards. Was Brandon Birdsong. It's going to be ruled incomplete. That'll make it 2nd down.
Yeah, Birdsong trying to take it to the house before he got it. Good throw there, good play call again. But the Comets, that's one of the biggest things in football, I feel like in high school football. The biggest play of the drive is always going to be 1st down. And the difference between a 2nd and 6 and a 2nd and 10 is ginormous.
6 minutes, 54 seconds left to go. The Comets have plenty of time, still haven't used a timeout this half. Birch takes the snap. Pressure coming. Gets the screen pass. Birdsong makes some men miss and dives to around the 34. He gets the 1st down. The Comets are now in business.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 guys in white on this Comet team that have played phenomenal games. When you look at the coach ratings that they give these guys, Birdsong had a 26 last week, and that's out of 100. This week, I can't imagine anything below a 90. Unbelievable.
The chemistry between the quarterback and the running back has been perfect today. Birch is going to keep it himself. He's tripped up right around the 38 is where they'll mark him. About a gain of 3 on 1st down. That makes it 2nd and 7.
Don't need to rush. Still 6 minutes left in the game, but it seems like the Comets are taking their time, putting all their chips in this drive. And you got to think, if you're Lakota West, there's 2 guys in the backfield in 2 different formations. One is Alex Brown, who is not a running back, and 2 is Brandon Birdsong. So when Birdsong's in the backfield, he's going to get the ball, and when Alex Brown is, it's going to be a pass, which is what I've seen so far.
2nd down and 7, Birdsong behind Birch. He'll hand it off up the middle, and the defense of Lakota West there to greet him kindly in the backfield. Not what you wanted to see on 2nd down. That makes it 3rd and long for Lakota West.
That couldn't have felt great. Jordan Narvaez, 6'6", 268. Something you see on Saturdays with that kind of size.
6'6", 268 as a sophomore.
Yeah.
3rd down and 9. Big play for the Comets. Birch has time. Now rolls out towards the right side. Has to throw it. Fires it. And it's out of bounds. I think Birch forced himself out there to the right.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get outside the pocket, and that's something he's had to work on. He's done a lot of that with Princeton, where he can get outside the pocket and he has time and he can unload. downfield. But with this Comet team, sometimes these wide receivers don't get open as early, and you got to stay in that pocket. 4th and 9. Again, don't discount the fake here, but you got to think you got to let your defense keep you in this game with how deep you are in your own territory.
You got 5 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock. You have 3 timeouts. If you can eliminate the big plays that has been keeping Lakota West in this game, you know, you've seen your defense shine in some moments. A whistle. It's a timeout.
Comets are going to call a timeout. That could,
wow.
I mean, it's a big situation. I think the Comets might be thinking of something on 4th down. I think it's most likely a punt. I think the clock was going down. And Coach Kastner didn't want to be more in his own territory. Because if you're Lakota West, all you need is a field goal, and this game is wrapped up. So the more chances you get at first downs for this Comet defense, the better. 5 minutes still, though, and you have 2 timeouts, but that is a full chance, full drive for this defense to get it figured out and get it back in the offensive hands.
And Isaac, you got to think once Lakota West gets this ball back, who's getting the ball? It's number 3. It's Kenyon Norman. He's going to be the guy getting the ball every single play. There's no way that unless Lakota West is in a 3rd and 15 kind of spot, you're putting this ball in the air. So this is going to be such a big drive to keep Lakota West on their side. It starts with a big punt here, but keep number 3, the big running back, in check. But D'Lo Birch comes back in the punt formation. Had a fantastic punt last time. Got inside the 10, and the snap gets over Birch's head. He picks it up, and he's still able to get the punt off. We'll see the bounce that it takes.
My goodness.
D'Lo Birch.
Talk about an athlete. I mean, what else do you want out of your quarterback? You got a guy that's willing to run the ball 20 times against multiple D1 players, and then he comes the very next play after being trampled by multiple defenders. He comes the next play, bad snap, figures it out on his other side of his body, and it's a perfect punt to the 20-yard line. Unbelievable.
The difference that having a guy like D'Angelo Birch makes to this Comet team, sometimes you can't put it into words and you need to put it on film. And right now that's happening tonight. What a play that saves the game right there.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
1st and 10 for Lakota West. Comets need a big stop. It will be a handoff to Norman. Did run into a brick wall and is able to run through it. Gains a couple there on 1st down and able to dive forward. And Isaac, a problem the Comets had last year was that first or second tackle. It's not being able to wrap up, not being able to get the guy down and letting them push forward for a couple yards. And you're going to need those tackles here on this drive.
Yeah, and we saw that even last week that the Comets had big problems tackling, and every yard matters. Like, that was a 4-yard gain. We had multiple Comets in the backfield. But you got to sell out on this run to get a 3-and-out here.
2nd and 6, a 3-receiver look. Smith sends a man in motion. He is going to look to throw towards the left side. It's caught by Davis, and he breaks a tackle. Tyson Davis down the sideline, the 35, the 30. He's gone. Touchdown, Lakota West.
And we talked about it wrapping up. We just talked about it. And there go the lights. Something that Lakota West does through a touchdown. And, man, I mean, Tyson Davis, an absolute athlete, as we mentioned earlier. And he's never had a game above 100 yards in his career, the biggest being 55 against Mason. And right there he gets 55. And Darren Knotts was the guy on the assignment, and it's just you can't have it in that big of a spot.
It's an inexperienced cornerback versus a top threat wide receiver. The extra point is good. It's a 2-possession lead. It is a 15-point lead for Lakota West, and now a game that was so in the favor of Mason has red blood all over it.
Yeah, there's only so long you can play a Lakota West team that was playing as bad as they were. And Mason just, at the end of the day, it was too many big plays that costed you the game.
3 minutes and 55 seconds left on the game clock here in the fourth quarter. The Comets, they've shown the aggressiveness to throw on long to a guy like Chris Hubbard. Isaac, you're going to be seeing that this drive.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be seeing shots from Birch. But I'll be the guy that says it. Of course, this was a game that, if you're the Comets, would be a signature win in Coach Kastner's career. But you look at it, even as a loss, we're going to say this was a phenomenal game.
Absolutely.
From multiple Mason Comets. Birdsong, never been the guy as a running back. This year, he's only a junior, and he showed he's an all-GMC running back potentially. D'Lo Birch showed that he can do what he does. And, I mean, how many times have we seen the offense been better than the defense in a game against a really good team? Not many times.
The Comet offense will come back out once more. And, Isaac, we look back to that first half. 2 interceptions, which you almost kind of forgot about in a point like this. One where you were way into Lakota West territory. I mean, if you were able to hold on to that ball, try and punch it in, we're looking at such a different game right now. But that's the kind of plays that aren't going to fly against the top team in the GMC.
Alex Silly on that bottom side of the screen, the backup quarterback. His first time at wide receiver today.
Birch drops back looking to throw, has time, fires to the right side, a sliding catch there from Jamian Martin. He gains a couple there on first down and makes it second and about 7. And Martin has been kept in check a little bit tonight. We haven't seen the jet sweeps that were kind of the big part of Mason's offense last week. Birch looking to throw once again, has time. Now fires to the right side. It's caught by Birdsong. He'll get close or closer to the first down marker. It looks like, oh no, they're going to call it incomplete.
Yeah, it just went through the hands of Birdsong. Good throw from D'Lo. I mean, he's a gunslinger. He's got a very good arm and just a little too hot for Birdsong. I mean, another third down, you're going to see another throw. And this is something you're going to have to see from this Comet team. How can they construct a drive where it's going to have to be only passes? This is the first time where you're going to see that.
Heavy press for Lakota West. Birch looking to throw, rolls out right, takes it down. He tries to run it himself. Will just get back to the line of scrimmage before being forced out, and it's fourth down for the Mason offense.
Yeah, you think Coach Kastner is going to keep the guys out there. Well, we'll see. Fourth down and 8. It's just those big plays. It's the guys that have had experience in the GMC. And the guys that want it more. And Tyson Davis showed in this fourth quarter he wanted more than anybody on the field. Fourth down.
Fourth down and 8. 3 receivers to the left. Birch takes the snap. Has time. Now rolls out right. He's just going to launch it upstairs. And it's incomplete. The Comets turn it over. He was looking for Jamian Martin. The pass falls incomplete, and that'll do it. We look at the clock, 3 minutes, 7 seconds left. The Comets, no way of getting back in this one, but what a showing.
Yeah, I mean, the score is going to look worse than we all knew it was.
Absolutely.
It was a battle for all 3.5 quarters of this game, and it just showed Lakota West. They're a really good team, but they're a team that has a little bit of flaws in them, and we haven't really seen a lot of that in the past 4 or 5 years that they've been had the throne of the GMC.
First and 10, looking to throw, fires for the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Lakota West. A late flag comes out. Oh, my.
Yeah, Darren Knott's on the coverage. And Tyson Davis
Who else?
just taking it into his own matter. I mean, good throw there from Jackson Smith as well. Quality throw, but it's gotten ugly here. And this is something you don't want to see from a Comet team that's going to be unsportsmanlike on Davis. I mean, say what you want. He's had a phenomenal game. It's one of these that at the end of the week, when you have this meltdown at the end, some of your players are going to have less confidence going into next week. So that's something that you can't have and that you shouldn't have because you played a really quality game. But you look at the scoreboard and you'd be like, West won by 20 kind of thing.
And I'm just surprised that up 2 possessions, 3 minutes left, you're throwing a go ball into the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why you're surprised. But, I mean, so much momentum and you can run the ball out. But if you're West, you want to make this look as worse as possible. You don't want people in the city thinking that you struggled to the Mason Comets. So that I agree with it.
And, Isaac, if that doesn't, in one play, dictate how much these two teams dislike each other. You know, a team that the extra point is good, a team that two teams that despise one another. You know, football, baseball, basketball. In a spot where you could have just taken it down to the end of the game, you put it in the end zone, and you let your superstar make another big play. And after the extra point, it makes it 35-13. So we'll get another look at this Comet offense now with, you know, a chance to do whatever you want.
I'd be surprised if we saw Birch in this drive, mostly because he's been beat up all day. He had a long last week as well. He's been out there in the punting unit. So it's possible that we still see D'Lo Birch, but at the same time, you still got Alex Silly, the guy that's going to get the keys next year. Supposed to get the keys this year before Birch came in. But this is something the Comets are going to have to get used to because they got Lakota East next week. And Lakota East has dogs on that team. Ryder Hooks. I mean, probably the best player in the conference if you ask me as a running back. 400 total yards against Centerville. And Centerville, I know they could have a bad year, but when you look at Centerville, they are a really good program.
They're not a bad football team.
No.
And Ryder Hooks had such a big game last year. Isaac, you and I were on that call at Lakota East. He took 197 yards all the way to the house.
And you look at the whole Lakota East program, they were down in the dumps. They started 0-1. They started 0-1 all the way until they played this Comet team. And then ever since they beat Mason, they were flying up the ranks. They were top 3 in the GMC last year. They were dominant in week 1.
Jaden Cook, a nice tackle there on Jake Kelling, the returner for the Comets. And I'll just give a little promotion to next week's broadcast. A special guest will be on the call for that game. We'll leave that up to the imagination of the viewer of who that will be. But stay tuned here on Mason Sports Radio next week versus Lakota East. 1st and 10 for the Comets. He'll keep it himself and gets a couple there. Not much. New quarterback in for the Comets. It's number 13, Jason Lewis. Or excuse me, the other number 13, Alex Nagel. The sophomore quarterback in for the Comets, a 5'9", 183 frame.
Yeah, he's kind of more the rushing guy, as you could see there in the first play. But he's got a good frame on him. A guy that could maybe even take the spot from Silly next year with how much you've seen from Silly and how much stuff he can do outside of the quarterback position.
It's Cannon McBarry in the backfield. Alongside him, he'll get the handoff. Breaks to the right side, gains a couple. And something I'm seeing from McBarry on these handoffs, he's getting a huge burst. And now kind of on that second step once he takes the handoff. But he's running into a line of defensive tackles of Lakota West.
Couple scores around the GMC. Middletown putting it to Fairfield. Fairfield almost beat Huber Heights Wayne, which is kind of they're a really solid program down in Dayton. They just dropped that one. Princeton's beating Coleraine 32-0. And then another game, probably the game of the week in the GMC, was Oak Hills and Lakota East, and that game is tied 7-7 going into the fourth quarter.
Nagel lost the ball on that, but his knee was down beforehand. That makes it 4th and 2.
Hamilton up 31-0 on Sycamore. Sycamore had that one season. They took down the Comets. They almost took the GMC.
Eugene Harvey.
Was a problem. I mean, especially he was a guy for football, and then he was the best wrestler in the state. So, but they've been down since.
4th down and 4, about 40 seconds left in this one. The fans of Lakota West stomping, making noise. The Comets appear to just be taking this one down. 22 seconds left and counting. And it looks like they might just call it here. The teams go to meet in the middle. And in a game where the scoreboard looks gross, the Comets showed a very, very good fight throughout most of this one, Isaac.
Yeah, I mean, Lakota West, interesting with the lines here. I haven't really seen a team go both ways, but something to mention there. But yeah, as you said, Lakota West, obviously 35-13 looks a lot different than the score was. Comets had a really good game. A lot of things you saw that were really good, and you can't take what the final score was in account to next week, because this Comet team is 0-2, but it's only 0-1 in GMC. And that's something that you can take with you, that it's only one game in GMC. A lot of good stuff you saw going next week.
And for Lakota West, next week they will head to Hamilton to take on the Big Blue. For the Comets, they'll be back home at Dwyer Field to take on Lakota East. As we'd like to give one last shout out to our sponsor, Reach Cabinets and Remodeling, located in Mason. Visit them online at reachcabinets.com or give Jerry a call at 513-260-2595. I've been Daniel Panetti, joined alongside Isaac Fargo here on the call. Jacob Cameraman doing the directing behind the scenes. And big shout outs to Trevor Rose on our main cam and Katie Halligan down at the end zones, giving us all the camera work today. The Comets, a tough loss here to the Lakota West Firebirds, 35-13. And we'll see you here. We thank you for making Mason Sports Radio your place.